And welcome to another episode of Experts Speak. I'm Michael DeLon, and today I am talking with Herb Cogliano. Now, Herb, thank you for taking some time to be with me today.
Michael, it's a pleasure to be here, and I look forward to providing some great insights to you and your listeners.
Well, thank you, because you are definitely going to do that. And as you're listening, you want to turn around and do what I used to do when Tom Bodette's radio ads came on the air. Do you remember Tom Bodette, Herb, with Motel 6?
Motel 6?
We would reach down in the radio and turn the radio up to listen to an ad because he was so compelling. That's what's going to happen today on this interview is you want to reach down, turn that volume up and listen to what Herb has to say, because Herb is part of what's called Aspire Growth Advisors. They help business owners grow. And you may hear the word scale and all that stuff. We're going to talk about the realities of that, what limits business owners from doing that, and how Herb and his company can help you actually get there. It might be different than what you think. So we want to dive into that. So Herb, as we jump off that diving board, get ready to go into the deep end of this pool, tell us, how in the world did you get to doing what you do today?
Yeah, thank you, Michael. Very interesting story. I grew up in a family business.
Okay.
So we're in the professional services, helping people get jobs. And you can imagine the people business can be very challenging, unpredictable, and have a lot of drama. But we got a lot of purpose from helping people get work and educate them. During our journey, I think it was 25 years in, we hit kind of a plateau. And we're challenged by how do we grow to the next level? You have a whole bunch of A players working for you, and you want to provide a bigger future. And if you can't grow the company, you know what happens. Competition comes in, you get commoditized. And then somebody handed me a book. And the book was called The Rockefeller Habits, The Secret Habits of John D. Rockefeller, How He Scaled His Oil Business, written by Vern Harnish. Today, the book is called Scaling Up.
Okay.
Built for small mid-market companies, how a few companies make it and why the rest don't.
Love that.
And what I learned, Michael, quite simply is that being smart and working hard wasn't enough to guarantee you and your business success. That there was a platform, a methodology for dealing with the different levels of growth your company would incur: more employees, more customers, more products, more locations. All these things together created such complexity that most people would hit a ceiling and flatten out.
Yeah, I can see it.
So that's how I ultimately got a coach, implemented these amazing framework and methods, scaled the company, was recognized as an Inc. 5000 fastest growing company multiple times. Our team was amazing. They helped create a best places to work culture and environment. And then in 2018, our companies exited our family business. And literally that was December. And in January, I opened my coaching practice. My business coach, unfortunately, died a few years earlier, way too soon. And I knew I wanted to carry on his work and help other business owners and leadership teams the way he truly helped us in our team. And that's why I'm here today.
That's awesome, man. I love that story. There's so many things in there we can dive into. You said one word that I think is really, really good, and that's that two words. One, you hired a coach, brilliant. Two, you actually implemented what they told you. And so many times, I mean, I can't tell you how many books I have on my shelf, how many courses I've bought, how many coaches I've hired who tell me what to do, but we're like, I don't have time for that. I got to go and run my business. It is that implementation that makes all the difference in the world. But even if you're implementing on the wrong things, right? Because there are so many shiny objects out there to help you scale your business. But you know from experience that there's a, dare I say, a methodology. There's a process.
Yeah.
Is that fair? Talk a
Yes.
little bit about that and really the mindset that a business owner has to bring to the table when they're hitting that plateau in order to really grow their business.
Yeah. So I find that there's 5 mindsets of what I call a high impact CEO. Number 1 is they're growth oriented.
Mm-hmm.
They have a bias to take action. They're looking to grow their company with all the market dynamics. They're looking to keep all their A players, and they ultimately want bigger futures for them and their team. Number 2, they are coachable, that they are open-minded to hear about different perspectives, opinions, and insights. They're also learners. They're proactive about their own education, and they also value and invest in the education of their people. Number 3, they're strategic thinkers. They can pull their head out from the weeds of the day-to-day of their company and think about longer-term implications, market positioning, how their company is unique or different. They're also accountable executors. They will hold themselves first and everybody else working with them accountable in the company. And they have the patience to coach up people and the courage to coach out the wrong C players that work in their business. And then finally, they are very effective communicators. They have a vision. It's clear, it's compelling, and they're repeating it over and over to keep everyone on the same page at the same time.
But people, A, get tired of hearing that, and B, I get tired of saying it. Come on now.
Yes.
It's a joke. It's
But
not a joke because that's what happens. Right?
Yes, yes.
We have to have, A, we have to have a vision. But B, we have to clearly communicate it over and over and over and over and over so that our employees and team members can recite it in their sleep.
That is
and
correct.
hopefully our clients can recite it in their sleep because it's all vision, right? Wow. Okay. Growth mindset. Love that. One of my favorite phrases is I personally, I have a bias for action.
Yes.
And so I love what you said there. It's like, okay, here we go. Coachable, open mindset. Let's talk. All right. Let's just pause right there. I get a lot of pushback from business owners about hiring coaches. They don't want to make the investment. Talk about that. I mean, my business started in 2013. I've had coaches, mentors, masterminds. I've been in stuff for years. And that's where I learned my best stuff, right? That's where the breakthroughs happen. Talk about the value of you hiring a coach and why should business owners, why do they really need to have an outside perspective in order for them to break through and position themselves to be able to grow?
Have you ever heard the saying, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I think when I speak to some business owners, they're under, how do I say it? They hit this inflection point and they're feeling under rewarded. They're sometimes feeling overworked, and yet they're taking 100% of the high risk.
Yeah.
So that is the first type of person that finally comes to me and said, I know I've tried to be smart and I've worked really hard, but you know, the definition of insanity is keep doing what you're doing.
Yes.
I think they reach a point where they're willing to be open-minded.
Yeah.
The second type of owner that comes to me is like they are drinking water through a fire hose. Their business is growing so quick, almost like indigestion versus starvation.
Yes.
And they don't know how to control it. Their employees are feeling burnt out. They're having execution service issues because clients, there's so much business and they don't know how to control that growth.
Yeah.
So why a coach can make sense is that if you're open-minded to having a methodology and a framework to help you scale impact, but reduce the drama of your growth, then you can have a better business with happier people in better bottom line results with it.
Yeah. And you, wow, you hit so many things there, because too many times people think when you say, I want to scale my business, that everybody just thinks revenue, top line revenue. And that's a part of the equation, but it's not the biggest part, honestly, because if you don't have the systems and the people and the culture and the vision, none of that matters, really. Being accountable and having a team, because the accountability, I think, flows into or out of the vision and the culture. And I think business owners think too negatively about accountability and running your business by the numbers, when it's not a negative thing. It's actually an affirming thing to help people. I think everybody wants to be on mission. We want to achieve things. I think many times we don't know what we're supposed to be doing because we don't have a vision from on high, because business owners are too busy. Do you find that?
Yeah, so scaling is in a couple of different areas if you think about it, but the absolute truth, to scale your business, you have to scale the people in it. So when you go from how many more deals can I close next week to how can I develop the people on the team to the next level, the development of the people allows you to develop your revenue, your profit, your cash in the ultimate valuation of your firm. And
so good.
We don't spend a lot of time thinking that way, because in smaller mid-market companies, the owner is typically either the best salesperson or the engineer or the inventor, and yet they've always been good at it. And now they find that their next level success is on learning how to develop, coach, and really influence people.
Yes, that's so good. I hope everybody heard. I'm going to repeat what you just said. To scale your business, you have to scale the people in it, because there is a difference between running a company that's 300,000 to a company that's 100 million or $1 million to a company that's 3 million. There are different challenges in all of that.
Yes.
And you have to grow your people, your team. And sometimes you have to, at least we've experienced this in our business, we've had to pull back on our marketing so that we could build team and systems so that we could go forward with marketing and grow our business, because otherwise it was going to kill our team.
Yes.
But I don't know that a lot of people are actually saying that, because, Herb, that's not sexy. Building systems is not sexy.
Well, I looked at it this way, Michael. We were doing things for 25 years up until the point we implemented scaling up.
Yeah.
And we had a level of success, no doubt about it. We were very proud of our work and our team. But we implemented scaling up initially in one division with 25 people. And in under 30 months, we grew to over 125 people and 5x our revenue and our cash flow and profit with it.
Yeah.
And while being a best places to work, less drama, more impact, and great outcomes.
Yeah.
That is not easy to do. We had 25 years of trying to figure it out, and yet we found a quicker, more effective way to grow.
Yeah, and that's really good. And you said a couple of things there. Number one, 30 months. Please understand, this is not an overnight pill that you're going to get, okay? Good, solid businesses grow over time. It's a lot like Willie Nelson. My dad was a country music guy. Willie Nelson always looked like an overnight success.
Sure.
But we never saw the years and years he played in all the honky tonks, right? And that's what we see with businesses is we're like, wow, look how successful they are. We don't see the 25 years of hard knocks of trying to figure it out. And then you come across this methodology of scaling up, and things started happening. A business owner does not have to struggle for 25 years. They can connect with you, Herb, and you can take your 25 plus years of experience and look at a business and go, here's where you are. Here are the holes. Here's what you need to work on. Let me guide you. Is that fair?
Yes. That is fair.
Yeah.
And I think that was one of the benefits, Michael. I started to self-implement in the beginning, probably for the first 13, 14 months.
Okay.
And I was having dinner with a friend and he said, "What are you doing?" I said, What do you mean?" He goes, "Why would you fool around with your business? You can have a hobby, maybe you like fishing, cars, you fool around." But he goes, "Why don't you get somebody who's been there, done that? You'll accelerate over the landmines and the roadblocks." And I said, "You know what? You're right. Our business is too important not to look at this the right way." And with the book and with the right guidance of applying scaling up to our particular environment, made all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
And that's what we help people do, fit it to their business, meet them where they're at so they can get to where they want to go.
Okay. So talk about the what is going on in the mind of your ideal prospect client, their business owner, right? What's going on in their world right now that's going to cause them to go, I need to reach out to Herb? And what would the process kind of look like at the beginning?
So their revenues have maybe been flat, or maybe it is declining, or maybe they're just growing so quick, but they're feeling overwhelmed and out of control. Maybe they're having issues with cash flow. Maybe they're having high employee turnover. Maybe they're having high client turnover, or sometimes they can't find a new client to save their life. Their lead generation, unfortunately, is not working. We've all lived it.
Yep.
But they're coming to me with, are there better methods, frameworks to put the right people on my bus, to identify the right clients that we really add value for at the right margin, and have a business that I feel happy and energized versus bummed out or burnt out.
Yeah.
And Michael, a lot of owners begin, the company is their dream, and sometimes it turns into their worst nightmare. And we want to help those business owners that feel like it's turning into a nightmare fall back in love with their business when they first started it, and have a happy ending for everybody.
Yeah. And that's so good, because so many times the business can grow faster than the business owner can grow.
Yes.
And that's where you come in, I think, many times, is to help an entrepreneur understand it's time to hire a chief marketing officer or a salesperson. Yes, you're good at it, but your biggest, greatest strength and leverage for your business is to get out of that role and to think like a CEO. Herb, nobody's taught me how to do that. And so it's scary, right? I feel comfortable being the sales guy. Talk about that in that internal dialogue that's probably going on in a lot of people.
Yeah, one of the biggest initial things is that they're a great strategist. They know the type of moves that they want to do, but they do not have a good number two, which is what I call somebody who can implement. You can have all the great ideas in the world, but if you don't have somebody that can execute and enjoys tracking and keeping people accountable and training and doing that day to day, the number two person is so important for a successful founder owner.
Dude, everybody looks at Apple, right? With Steve Jobs.
Yes.
Apple was nothing without number two, wasn't he?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And the same thing with Bill Gates. And I mean, you just go down the list. They're all the front people, but it's that second number two that makes it all happen that we rarely hear about. They're just enjoying the profits from the business, right?
Yeah.
That is so good, because business owners, especially small business owners, we're entrepreneurs. This is our thing. This is what I do. Nobody can do it better than me. Well, in some cases, maybe, but in most cases, what I found is they do a lot better than me, because I'm random. I'm way out there. But I found my role in my company, right? I am the vision caster. I'm the team builder. That's what I do. Then I let my team do everything else. And and I love my job. It's great.
Michael,
but I've learned.
Do you know in this country of about 30 million companies, less than 0.5% ever make it to 10 million a year in revenue or more?
Wow. That's a shame.
It's a shame, but with the right methodology and roadmap, it is achievable for anyone. And there's a lot of great lifestyle companies out there, people who just want to keep it small and do what they love. And
Sure.
I applaud people like that. But there is a segment that want to scale the company for different reasons,
Right.
and they don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
It's what you don't know that's holding you back.
Yeah, very much so. And that's what you excel at so well, Herb, is helping business owners understand what they don't know. And that's okay if you don't know, because we've not been educated on it. And so we could go to the school of hard knocks. We could try it for 25 years. Herb's tried that. We could read the books and try to implement it ourselves. Herb's tried that. And it works. It's just a longer path. Or you can hire a coach. Herb's done that. And you'll find that the coach is able to just peer into your business pretty quickly with X-ray vision and go, okay, here's where you are. Here's what's going on. Here's the pathway to profits. And let's work together over the next few months, sometimes years. And that's okay, because you're either going to hire Herb and your business is going to change and scale in the next 3 years, or you're going to not hire Herb and your business is going to be frustrating and annoying for the next 3 to 5 years. Your choice.
Yes.
I would say call Herb. I don't know. Let me flip a coin. Any other thoughts? Because I want people to understand the simplicity. What's the first thing? Somebody, and I'm going to ask you what the website is. Is it a call with you? What's the kind of that first steps somebody's going to take? I'm sure there's all kinds of information on your website. Talk to us a little bit about that first step.
So I keep it very simple. If your business is sick or you're personally sick, you go to a doctor and a doctor has to do a diagnosis. I would never take a prescription from somebody that didn't do a medical assessment. We have an assessment. I have 2 major ones for people. Number 1, it's what I call the high impact CEO score. Where are you from current to where you need to be to transform into a high impact CEO mindset? The things you and I covered earlier. Number 2, where is your business in relation to its scaling up readiness today? What are your gaps from scaling up growth? How do we hone in on those and go to that low-lying fruit first? So I assess the owner and I help assess the business, then prescribe with the owner and their leadership team the ideal coaching program to grow the leadership and grow the business to the ultimate vision that they want to achieve.
Excellent. And that's great. I love those 2 assessments, because those are the 2 key components, obviously.
Yes.
All right. So somebody's listening to this, where do they need to go to find those assessments, to get in touch with you, to learn more about how your company and how you can help them scale up?
Yes. Simply go to my website, aspiregrowthadvisors.com. You'll see a link right there to the high impact CEO assessment. We'll follow up, give you a complimentary reading of the assessment, and then deploy the scaling up business ready assessment so that you ultimately have both. It's that simple. If you can't find the website, look me up on LinkedIn, but otherwise the website, most direct way to do it.
Awesome. I am going to make sure that both of those links, website and LinkedIn, are captured in the show notes, because we talk to busy entrepreneurs and they're out doing their business. They're walking, exercising, walking the dog, or talking with clients right now sometimes. So we want to make sure we're going to capture all of that in the show notes so that you can reach out to Herb and take those assessments. Go to his website, take those assessments, and then you'll have a conversation and just get an outside perspective from somebody who's been where you are, He's been in business for years and years and years, grew up in a business. He's hired the coaches. He understands the value. He's scaled the businesses. He's got the pathway to help you take your business wherever you want it to go. So it's a no-brainer. Do it yourself or connect with Herb, and I vote connect with Herb. So Herb,
thank you.
Thank you. No, this has been really insightful. I love your background. I love the way you present things, and I hope people will reach out to you. So thank you for being my guest on Expert Speak.
It has been my pleasure. And as you have further questions or connect down the road, I look forward to supporting each other's success.
Thank you, Herb. Have a great day, my friend. Thanks again for listening to Expert Speak.